All right, guys, welcome back. So, a pretty big announcement just happened about less than 15 minutes ago here at the Knoxville Raceway over at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. And that is that there is a new driver going on the Outlaw Tour. So, the first of what sounds like is going to be many Rookie of the Year candidates next year for the Outlaws has been officially revealed. Now, we have known about this for a few weeks now. But nonetheless, it is still something that we probably did not see coming. We did not see Cole Macedo joining forces with Wayne Johnson and the 2C Racing team to go on the Outlaw Tour. I don't know, many people probably had that on their bingo card, but it's the first domino to fall. It's the first little portion of silly season to kind of get us going. And from what I've heard, I'm not going to tell you guys everything I've heard because it's all kind of rumors and things like that. But people are starting to murmur. There's a lot of stuff chattering around right now about different guys going different places, whether that's different cars and teams to different series and back and forth and things like that. And of course, new drivers that have never been on a tour before trying to make their way onto one, right? And we've done some videos on that before here on the channel. So this is the first one that has come out for 2025. And I'm not sure if this is going to be one that really kicks things off because I don't think that stuff will start happening until towards the end of the season. But Cole Macedo and 2C Racing, they have joined forces, and they're going to be the first of what it sounds like. I said earlier, it sounds like there could be 4 or 5 guys going to try and be the Rookie of the Year next year for the Outlaws. So let's talk about what exactly this all means and all the parties involved here. So Cole Macedo, he did drive this car one time earlier this year. You may not have even noticed that it happened. It was on June 8th right here at Knoxville Raceway. Cole Macedo drove from 16th to 5th in the feature event driving this car. And I mean, it was a pretty solid night considering that, that was maybe the 4th or 5th race that Cole's ever ran at Knoxville. And for him to go that far forward in the feature, first night out in the car, I think that was a good first impression for him and the team. And so maybe that's what kind of kickstarted this whole thing in the first place, right? Cole Macedo this year made the King's Royal feature for the first time in his career. That was not in the 2C car. That was in the Kevin Newton-owned number 16T car. So far this year, 7 World of Outlaws races under his belt, and 4 of those have resulted in top 10 finishes, including a podium run at the Fremont Speedway in Ohio. Speaking of Fremont, Cole was also a former All-Star Circuit of Champions winner at Fremont. That was back in 2021. He was 3rd earlier this year at the Dirt Cup at Skagit Speedway that paid about $25,000. Was kind of in the mix there. I think he led a few laps, if I'm not mistaken, or was close to it, but he had a really solid run up there at the Dirt Cup. And like I said, paid really well over there. So that was a big run for him. So far this year, he has 3 410 wins. They all came at the NARC King of the West races. He has 12 top 5 finishes and 16 starts with that series, and he is currently 2nd in points, just 3 behind Justin Sanders in the chase for that championship. So far this year, Cole Macedo has made $109,865 in purse. That's coming from SprintCarRatings.com, and amazingly, that's actually 20th in the entire nation. So Cole Macedo is one of the very few guys in the top 20 in sprint car earnings that is not a full-time driver with the Outlaws or High Limit right now. He joins, I think Kyle Larson is one of them, Danny Dietrich, and Anthony Macker. I think those are the only 4 guys in the top 20 that are not a full-time member of any series with over $100,000 in earnings. So it's been a great year for Cole Macedo, and SprintCarRatings.com has him ranked as the 28th best driver so far this year in all of 410 Sprint Car Racing. So it's definitely been a big jump for Cole Macedo this year. Had a really good run earlier this year with High Limit. The first race out, he finished 2nd in that Second Law Motorsports 16T car. So that's just kind of some of the highlights of either his past or this year for Macedo. And he's kind of jumped onto the scene here quite a bit. And he's done it driving a couple of different race cars as well. The Tarleton car, the Kevin Newton car, the 2C car. I'm missing one in there, I'm pretty sure. But he's been a pretty busy guy this year. Now, when it comes to the 2C Racing sprint car, what have they done? Now, you guys may not have ever heard of, if you're relatively new to sprint car racing, which I know there's a lot of my viewers that are, you might not know much about this race car. In 2020, this car was the World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year with driver Wayne Johnson behind the wheel. That year, I believe he was competing against Mason Daniel. There was only 2 Rookie of the Years that year, but Wayne Johnson did do it. Now, this car has also finished 3rd 2 times at the Knoxville 360 Nationals, and it even made the 2017 Knoxville Nationals and finished 23rd in that main event with Wayne Johnson behind the wheel. So this car has shown that it can make Knoxville Nationals features. It can compete in the top 10. It can run well against really good fields of cars. And so I think this is going to be a pretty good pairing. Now, it might take them a while to get things going, but this team has been on the road. Like Wayne Johnson, right? I got this stat here as well. He ran for 2 years on the Outlaw Tour. The first one was 2020. The second one was 21. He ran 71 races, made the feature 59 times, and he had 10 top 10 finishes to go along with those 59 races. So the car has been on the tour. It's been around on the road and done. It's gone to all the racetracks, right? So they do have a little bit of a notebook. And Cole Macedo's been doing a lot of traveling to new tracks this year. So both of those things should go hand in hand and do pretty well for them. Right now, this car is currently a full-time member of the ASCS 360 National Tour with driver Hank Davis behind the wheel. So far this year, Hank Davis, 11 races with the ASCS, 9 of them in the top 5, and he's currently 5th in the point standings, about 300 behind for the championship. And that's with a driver that has very, very, very little wing sprint car racing prior to this year, and he's already got 9 top 5s. Now, I understand ASCS is not the Outlaws. It's not high limit. It's not the greatest, not the toughest competition by any means, but still, that's pretty good. 11 races, 9 top 5 finishes. This car also ran full-time with the ASCS in 2016, 17, 18, and in 2022. In that time span, 13 wins with the series, and it was second in the point standings in 2022 with Wayne Johnson behind the wheel. So this car has won races. It's competed on the national stages before, and we know the driver has as well. Now, on the far right, this is some information that we got from, a few things that we got from the press release that came out today. We know that the car owner is Todd Carlisle, and he's been a car owner for quite a long time. We mentioned earlier, 2017, they were at the Knoxville Nationals in the feature, and they ran a little bit together as well before then. And he just seems like a really good guy, and he's been very, very committed to Wayne Johnson, and he's still committed to Wayne Johnson. Obviously, he trusts Wayne's judgment to have Cole come in as the driver and for Wayne to be the crew chief, which is right there. Wayne Johnson will be the crew chief. He announced his retirement here just recently from sprint car racing after that really scary incident at the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track with High Limit earlier this year. And it appears from the press release, it sounds like that after the 2024 season is over, they are going to shut down the ASCS team that Hank Davis is driving, and they will be focusing all of their efforts on the Outlaw Tour in 2025. And like we said, this is the first of what it sounds like will be many World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year candidates in 2025, and he will join his brother Carson as long as nothing changes or anything like that. Then him and Carson will be the first brothers on the Outlaw Tour for a really long time. I could not remember off the top of my head when the last time there were 2 brothers racing on the Outlaw Tour. Maybe Kerry and Ian Madsen. Maybe were they on the tour at the same time? I can't remember off the top of my head. Was Kerry in the big game too, and Ian was in the KCP car? I don't know if they were on the Outlaw Tour at the same time, but they could be the latest brothers to be on the tour together. And as I mentioned at the top of this video, this is the first domino to fall in silly season. From what I have heard and what the rumblings are, there's going to be some driver swaps, some car changes, some guys going from Outlaw Tour to High Limit Tour. A lot of guys coming in that aren't a part of either series, and you're going to be making their way onto the national scene here soon. So this is the first major step, the first major announcement for all of that stuff for 2025, and that's why I have the dominoes there on the thumbnail. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm excited to see what Cole Macedo can do. 24-year-old driver from Lemoore, California. He's had a breakout year so far. He's really turned a lot of eyes and a lot of heads, and clearly it's been working for him because he lands this ride with 2C, and it's a good car as well. So they're going to be a really nice addition to the Outlaw Tour next year. And, I think they could definitely be a guy to watch for when it comes to the Rookie of the Year title. Obviously, we need to wait and see who else is coming, because I have heard some other names that will definitely put up a challenge for him. But we'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Our continuing coverage of the Knoxville Nationals will start up later on tonight. We'll have another How Was Your Night video going after the Thursday night prelim. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. So hit the like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. What do you guys think about this? Cole Macedo and 2C Racing joining forces 2025 Outlaw Tour run. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll talk to you guys again here soon.